Hi everyone, this is CricketSong. This video is in response to Ivy on the Occultist channel. She did a video titled, "What is Advanced Magic?" And it's a discussion about advanced magical practices. And it's actually a video response to the Norse witch who did a video titled, "Let's Talk, What Are Advanced Practices and What Makes an Advanced Practitioner?" So the whole topic is talking about advanced witchcraft, advanced magical practices, advanced practitioners, and I thought I would throw in my 2 cents in regards to this topic because I thought it was a great topic to discuss. So I agree with, I think, the majority of what both individuals said in regards to magical practices or magical advanced practices or advanced witchcraft. And I will link both videos in the comment section of this video so you can go check out their videos. Both individuals talked about the term advanced witchcraft being very subjective, and something I might consider advanced, you might not consider advanced, and something you might consider an advanced practice, I wouldn't consider an advanced practice, because we each have different life experiences, we come from different backgrounds, we have different personalities, we have different everything. So something that may come very easy and basic to me may be a little more difficult for you, and vice versa. So having that said, what is advanced? I don't think there is a definite listing of advanced practices or what makes you an advanced witch. But there are things that I personally think take more effort, take more time, more knowledge or understanding of either the technique itself or of oneself. So there are things that I would really need to understand myself in order to practice effectively or manifest the desired outcome effectively. So here's a couple of things, and some of these things, both other videos, the Norse Witch and Ivy suggested, were advanced from their perspective too. So the first thing that they both, or the first thing I'm going to mention that they both mentioned in their videos was malediction or baneful magic. I agree. I do think that that is a more advanced practice, only because I think before anyone, actually, let me speak from my own perspective. Before I do any sort of malediction or hex or baneful working, I need to consider the why. Why do I feel this is necessary? And how am I going to accomplish this? And what are the possible consequences? And I feel like, and I believe that when doing a malediction, the possible consequences could be more harmful to me than if I were to do a blessing or a healing for someone. There are consequences in doing a blessing and healing for someone, but generally those are more beneficial. So that if there were beneficial consequences, I feel like I would also get beneficial consequences as well. Whereas if I'm doing a malediction, a consequence that I had not thought of or considered could cause harm to other people that I don't want to cause harm to, or could cause harm to me if I did the spell incorrectly, or the outcome could backfire, basically. So I feel like being someone advanced or someone with more experience or having a little more understanding of oneself would then be more of an advanced technique, in my opinion. Another topic that Ivy brought up was blood magic being more of an advanced practice, and I would agree. Again, I feel like that is because when I'm using a physical part of myself or blood in general, it would take more effort, more time, more things to consider. I do have a video that I cover blood magic under the witch's alphabet, letter B. I'll link that in the information section, where I share my thoughts about blood and how I use it in my own practice. And because of all that, I feel like that's why it might be a more advanced practice, at least from my perspective. Again, with more consideration and more understanding of myself and where that blood came from and possible consequences of what that would entail would make that, for me, considered a more advanced practice. Ivy also brought up the idea of invocation and evocation being advanced practices, and I would agree. My definition of invocation is opening oneself up to allowing a spiritual entity to possess my body. That's an invocation, invoking spirit into me, where evocation is invoking or evoking spirit into my space, into my presence. I know that some individuals switch the definitions of those two words, but I believe that both of them are a more advanced practice. So when I was more of a Wiccan practice, when I identified as Wiccan and held more rituals, when I would draw down the moon, that would be an invocation. Now, the reason why I feel like that invocation and evocations are more advanced practices, more specifically an invocation, is because it requires the individual to understand how they are attached to their physical body, and the ability or the ability to disconnect from my physical body to allow another spiritual entity to possess my physical body requires more understanding, again, of myself, understanding of my physical as opposed to my spiritual body, and knowing how to disassociate or disconnect. So for me, it took a while to develop that ability and to successfully be able to accomplish that. I feel like that is a more advanced technique. Unless, again, that's just in my opinion. It may come easily to you. And then the last thing that I would put under advanced magical practice or advanced witchcraft would be the ability to direct a group energy. Meaning that someone who is able to connect to, merge their energy with other individuals and direct that energy to a desired outcome, whether that be a spell or a magical working. So, like an example, being the leader of a coven, and when the coven gets together to do magic, they act as the director of the energy of that group, where they merge everyone's energy together and then send that energy to a target. I feel like that is an advanced technique, only because it requires that individual to understand their energy, their auric field, understand what is them, be able to identify what is each individual's energy and auric field, understand how they can merge their energy with everybody else's in that group, and then have the ability to direct this merged energy to an outcome. In my experience, that's more difficult and more challenging than directing my own energy to an outcome, because I need to be aware of my energy and everybody else's energy in that circle, and then be able to understand how those energies interweave with each other, how it can merge successfully, and then be able to send that energy out to one target. I feel like that is a more advanced technique. But again, that could come easily to you. It took some time for me to understand that. I think that knowing yourself, understanding your personal energy, understanding how your personal energy interacts with your physical body, understanding how your personal energy interacts with the environment around you, with other spiritual entities, how your energy, sensing your own energy and merging that with anything around you is more advanced, especially when you're dealing with other spirits or other individuals, persons' auric field. I think sometimes, at least for me, understanding how my energy reacts to other spirits in the natural world is easier than when trying to determine how my energy is going to interact with another human being. And I feel like that's due to the fact that nature is more consistent in its energy, where human beings are easily influenced by other human beings, by other things around us. We're distracted. We're easily distracted by a lot of other things, where nature's spirits tend to be more consistent, at least in my experience. So for me to interact with the tree, the old pear tree, that energy tends to be more consistent. But me interacting with another witch, not as consistent, if that makes sense. So I'd be curious as to what your thoughts are as to what qualifies as advanced witchcraft or advanced practices. What are your thoughts? Please share and check out the other 2 videos. And until next time, I love you. Blessed be.